Pioneer fans, Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey is live and on the air. We are live at the Buffalo Wild Wings Arena. Formerly, I believe it was the Troy Sports Arena. They have 4 ice rinks here, and I believe this is the first time we've actually been in this rink. So always fun to see a new rink in southeastern Michigan. So just had the Squirts game end, and we're looking forward to a good Pioneer women's hockey game. Pioneer women are already 2-0 on the season. They started off with a big win versus Northville that was 10-1. If I pull up the game sheet on that one, as see if my internet will be kind to me. There we go. So it started off. The Pioneers scored 4 in the first, 2 in the second, and 4 in the third, as Northville scored 1 in the third. It was Webe Portinga between the pipes for Pioneer. Mavrinik on the other side started off with Corey Flint with a goal. Weisinger with the assist at 11:33. Then Evie Portinga scored at 11:11. That was the game-winning goal. Vivian Shikachi had the assist. Corey Flynn scored her second of the season at 10:10 in the first, and then Olivia Andrianopoulos scored her first of the season at 7:06. By the way, Zoe Andrianopoulos assisting on the Flynn goal, and Brainerd assisting on the Olivia Andrianopoulos goal. Into the second we went. At the 15-minute mark, Shikachi scored her first goal of the season from Jof and Zoe Andrianopoulos. Then at 13:13, Alexis Young scored her first goal of the season, that from Olivia Andrianopoulos. In the third, Northville got their only goal, that at 11:11. It was unassisted by Connors, her first goal of the season. Then at 8:08, Zoe Andrianopoulos scored unassisted. Then at 5:07, it was Maddie Grand scoring with Megan Edwards on the assist. At 2:33, it was Maddie Grand scoring her second of the season. Jof with her second assist of the season. And then at 1:11, it was Weisinger scoring her first of the season. Megan Edwards with her second assist of the season. So that was the first game for this squad. Then the second game was versus at home versus Bloomfield Birmingham. And that game, if I pull that up right here, started in the first. Both teams had a goal. 5 goals in the second for Pioneers. No scoring in the third for a 6-1. No shots recorded. Parker took the loss between the pipes. Webe Portinga got her second win of the season. Started off at 13:20 as Hebben scored her first goal. Shikachi on the assist at 7:45. The Blackhawks tied it up as Emmett scored from Viofrey and Shinders. Then in the second period at 9:08, Jof got her first goal of the season unassisted. At 7:37, it was Evie Portinga getting her first goal. Brainerd with a assist as well as Hebben. Then at 4:17, Brainerd got her first goal. Edwards on the assist. And then at 3:59, Edwards got her first goal. Hebben on the assist. At 2:34 in the second, Flint scored her first goal. Shikachi with her second assist of the season. 2 penalties, both in the second, both by the Blackhawks. So that's the 2 games that Pioneer has played so far. Taking a look at the statistics. Shikachi has the tie and lead of points, 1 goal and 3 assists, gives her 4 points. Edwards has 4 points on 1 goal and 3 assists as well. Flynn has 3 goals for 3 points. Jove has 3 points on 1 goal and 2 assists. Taking a look, Brainerd has 3 points on 1 goal and 2 assists. Hebbett has 3 points on 1 goal and 2 assists. Zoe Andrianopoulos has 3 points on 1 goal and 2 assists. Olivia Andrianopoulos has 2 points on 1 goal and 1 assist. Weisinger has 2 points on 1 goal and 1 assist. Grant has 2 goals for 2 points. Evie Portinga has 2 goals for 2 points. Alexis Young has a goal for a point. So that is your standings for Pioneer. Now, Troy United hasn't played a game yet. This is their first game on the season, so we will see them shortly. Let's play a few messages from the MHSAA, and then we will come back with your first period, the starting lineups, national anthem, and your first period action.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As Pioneers waiting to hop out onto the ice, we're just waiting for the officials, and the other team, Pioneer, is poised at the door to our right in their purple sweaters with the numbers in white on the back. A nice little Pioneer circle on the front, and predominantly black helmets, couple white helmets out there, but Pioneer poised to come on out, trying to get their third game of the season under their belt. First game for Troy. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for Pioneer, as they will be at the Mid-Michigan Alliance Sunday. That will be a 2 p.m. game. We do plan on broadcasting that as long as nothing goes wrong there, so we will be out that way. Then on Wednesday the 29th, Pioneer will be hosting Liggett. That will be a 5 p.m. game at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena. On Saturday, December 2nd, Pioneer will visit St. Mary's. It'll be at the Orchard Lake St. Mary's Athletic Complex. That's a 3 p.m. game. Monday, December 4th, Pioneer will be at Mercy. That will be at Eddie Egger Ice Arena. That's a 6:30 p.m. game. Wednesday, December 6th, Pioneer will host Grosse Pointe North. It's a 5 p.m. game at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena. On the 9th, they host Traverse City, brand new team to Division I. Taylor Lundberg, former University of Michigan women player, is the coach up there. So excited to see Traverse City come in and say hello to Taylor. That will be at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena the 9th at 5 p.m. Take a look at the rest of this calendar year. Pioneer will host Cranbrook Kingswood at 5 o'clock on December 13th. On Friday, December 15th, Pioneer will be at Grosse Pointe South over at the East Side Hockey Arena. That will be a 7:30 p.m. game as Pioneer heads out onto the ice. Then 2 games at home. They will be on the 16th hosting Livonia United at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena. That's a 5 p.m. game. Then on December 20th, the last game of the calendar year, it is Huron Skyline hosting Pioneer, but that at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena. That is a 5 p.m. game for that game as well. So that's what's coming up. Again, Pioneer going left to right here in this opening period, wearing their purple jerseys with the black and white stripes across the middle and on the socks. Numbers in white on the back and outlined in white on the sleeves. And they have a Block A Pioneer logo in a circle on the front. Taking a look at Troy. Troy is in their white sweaters with the red on the sleeves, red and black stripes on the sleeves, numbers in red outlined in gray on the back. They have black shorts and the white socks with the black and red on them, predominantly black helmets for the Troy team. As we're getting ready to go, as the game's scheduled to get going at 7:45, but you can never tell if that's when we get the ice or that's when puck's going to drop. So we always get here early. That means you get to listen to a few more of the messages from the MHSA as they have 3 minutes up on the clock there. typically, I would assume they get a little bit more of a warm-up, but we will see, and then we'll see if we get an ice resurfacing in between. They got one between the Squirts game and this, but we'll see if we get another one before the puck drops. As it is counting down. Good crowd here. Lots of Pioneer parents have made the trip down this Friday evening. Nice little hour drive from the Ann Arbor area. Not too bad. So we will have this game for you tomorrow. Taking a look at our broadcast schedule. Pioneer, obviously, we'll have the Pioneer Troy game tonight. Then tomorrow at 7:30, I believe it is, we will have University of Michigan women's hockey at Aquinas. That is their final official regular season game of the calendar year. They have a couple scrimmages coming up, but the last, and that's a big CCWHA matchup. So we'll have that tomorrow. Then the game at Bay City for this Pioneer team on Sunday. Then on Monday, the Pioneer men's team will be back in action at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube for their first home game of the season. They will face Riverview Cabrini. That's the team that they beat in the first game of the season, 4-3. The Pioneer men's team beat Divine Child last night, 5-2. So they already have 2 wins on the season, looking for a big bounce-back season from last season. This Pioneer team performed well. The Pioneer women's hockey team performed well last season, looking to build upon that as they're all out practicing here. Clock counting down as we'll hang out here and see what happens when the 3 minutes is down, if they give them more time to warm up or if they go directly to the starting lineups, or if we get an ice resurfacing. So we'll play it by ear. There's the clock count down as the officials talking to the Troy staff across the way. By the way, Pioneer coaching staff, Lynn Harrison Lee is the head coach for Pioneer. Assistant coach is Elise Johnson, and of course helping out on the varsity team, but the JV head coach and assistant, obviously, Lon Grantham and Natalie Grantham, who mean so much to this program, have done so much throughout the years, and we appreciate all the hard work they do with the varsity, the JV team, and beyond. We appreciate that. I didn't see officially the coaches for Troy. I know last season it was Mosery was the head coach. Ford, the assistant coach. Roethlisberger was an assistant coach, and the manager was Blackwell. But, of course, that could absolutely change. They have 15 minutes up on the clock now. Olivia Andrianopoulos skates over and grabs the bag to put all the pucks away. There's more and more Pioneer parents coming in. We love to see that. And it looks like we may go straight to some starting lineups and gameplay here, and possibly the national anthem, as I see a couple caps being removed across the way. So we will see that as Troy gets lined up on the blue line closest to us. Pioneer gathered around their coaching staff. And looks like we'll get all the buckets off the helmets, off the heads. And Pioneer at the blue line to our left. Troy to the blue line to our right. 15 minutes up on the clock. And here's the national anthem, Donner America. So national anthem played. We'll see if we get any starting lineups or not. Everyone getting their helmets back on, ready to go. 15 minutes up on the clock here in the first. And Pioneer hitting from left to right in this first. The official right at center ice. Looks like we're not having starting lineups. We'll hop right into the game. We'll see if we have announcements of goals or not. We may not. We'll see that and check out and see what happens. Olivia Andrianopoulos to take the face off. Across the way, Estelle Young on the far wing. The near wing is along the near boards, racing over. Brought in by Flynn. Flynn trying to race into the near corner. Goes right back behind the goal. And is taking a look at the goalkeeper. That it should be Claire Johnson. Wearing a comes into the near corner. Flynn. Flynn has Flynn trying to fire it out. Puck knocked down. Flynn goes from the near side to the far side, back behind, trying to fire it out in front. That puck knocked down. Racing over to get it back there is Mills. Mills has it back behind her own goal, fires it in along the far boards. It's grabbed there, fired by Estella Young, comes outside the near circle where Flynn has it. Centering attempt. That gets deflected right back behind the goal. Coming into the far corner. Picked up by Olivia Andrianopoulos. Olivia Andrianopoulos. Top of the far circle. That tip. Trying to hold it in. Good job to sweep it in. Now that comes out. Coming down the near boards. Racing ahead with his petting up. Get deep. Grabbing it back behind his Jove. Jove sends it in along the near boards. Trying to pull it ahead is Flynn. That puck as grabbing on the far side. Pafford had it. Here comes Pioneer racing into the zone on the far circle. Flynn coming in, that puck into the near corner. Centering attempt right out in front of Olivia Andrianopoulos trying to poke away at it. It's loose. And in for the goal. Pioneer scores as they open up the scoring at 13:36. And it looks like Olivia Andrianopoulos got the goal. Pioneer up 1-0 at 13:36. Face off, center ice as Brainerd taking the face, puts it in along the near boards. Trying to pull that ahead is trying to come in that way is Hebben. Hebben puts it back and that's a save. Comes off onto the near circle. Center ice, Zoe Andrianopoulos with a shot. In front in the slot, shot from the far circle that got deflected into the far corner. Brainerd has it. Brainerd outside the far circle. Brainerd takes it just back to the far point, leaves it there for Zoe Andrianopoulos. Zoe Andrianopoulos moves it on to the near circle. That drifts into the near corner as Hebben has it there. Pulled back behind, coming and fired top of the far circle. Zoe Andrianopoulos with a shot and a score. 12:56. Zoe Andrianopoulos scores. Pioneer is up 2-0 here early in the first period. With Olivia Andrianopoulos and Zoe Andrianopoulos, I believe, getting on the scoring sheet. Again, we don't have a confirmation from the officials at this particular moment. Let me get my binoculars out so I can see things better. Face off at center ice. Pull back behind, I believe that was Hammerman has it. Hammerman coming down the near boards. Hammerman, top of the near circle, fires it into the far corner. And puck pulled back. Top of the far circle, shot from there, comes into the near corner. Hammerman trying to chase it, trying to pull that back away. Was Mills, that comes top of the near circle, trying to poke that back is Maddie Graham. Maddie Graham playing out this season. Wei Portinga is the goalie. for Pioneer. Maddie Grand, a big goalkeeper, and that goes in as a shot from the just inside the crease on the far side. Pioneer gets another goal, that at 12-18. As first to the line, that's going to be Edwards with the score at 12-18. So Edwards puts it in for the Pioneer goal. 3-0 Pioneer with the lead here in the first. Olivia Andronopoulos in to take the face-off. As they'll bring an extra player out. They only had 4, not a penalty, so they'll have Pettinga out there for Troy. Coming in along the far boards, trying to pull that away, was Estella Young. That comes in, knocked back into the far corner. Picking it up is Evie Portinga. Evie Portinga trying to fire it in along the far boards. Stella Young had it now, coming ahead. Here comes Olivia Andrianopoulos, only over center. Gets it over to Flynn. Flynn, top of the near circle. Flynn with a shot. That save, loose out in front. Coming over, Flynn with a backhanded attempt. Another save back over there. As the puck comes back to the far point. Grabbed it by Jof. Jof comes in. Shot there. Again, another good save. I don't have number 15 on the roster for Troy. Puck, Olivia Andrianopoulos trying to get it outside the far circle. Kim back as well. Comes back behind the goal. Now pulled away. Coming ahead. Troy trying to feed it out. Flynn with a shot. Good save. Coming back. Wraparound attempt. And that is a goal on the wraparound attempt. As Olivia Andrianopoulos gets her second goal of the game. That makes it 4-0 at 11-19. Pioneer. As Pioneer making things happen on the goal, trying to get, as soon as the goalkeeper turns their back to me, I'll try and get a number or a name, because I believe Claire Johnson for Troy United. Puck right at center, bringing it ahead, trying to come in is Hebben. As in the far board, Jove sits in with it. Jove, top far circle, drop pass. As that was moved over. Putting it in, Shikachi trying to fire it back. Back to the far point. Jove backhanding it. That comes in along the end boards. Racing back to get it is Hebben. Hebben gets it into the far corner. Shikachi back there, comes outside the far circle. Back to Jove at the far point. Jove skates down the far boards. Jove trying to move it over. Brainerd trying to grab it. That's sent to the blue line but held in. Shot there by Shikachi goes into the near corner. Pulling back, bouncing puck, high slot grab. That moved right at the near point as Alexis Young has it there. Alexis Young puts it onto the near circle. That pulled away by Troy. Picking up, coming the other direction is Pafford. Pulled away, good job to steal it away by Heba. Here comes Shikachi. Shikachi in the slot with a shot that comes off the corner of the pipe all the way outside the far circle. Backhanded back deep by Jof as that comes right back behind the goal. 10 minutes left to go here in the first, 4-0. Pioneer with the lead. The puck in the slot, trying to poke away at it was Hebben. Comes outside the near circle. Is Alexis Young trying to hold it in. That fired all the way down the ice. Jof races back into the Pioneer zone to get it in the far corner. Jof brings it back behind the goal. Jof coming in along the near boards. Feeds it ahead to Hebben. Hebben through center ice. Hebben trying to weave through traffic. That poked away. Picked up. Pioneer gets back on side. Brainerd has it. Top of the near circle. Brainerd coming in. And back to Hebben. Hebben banks it back behind the goal. That comes all the way back to the far point. Held in there as Zoe Andrianopoulos puts it onto the far circle. Pulled back over. I believe that's Shikachi into the far corner. Back to Zoe Andrianopoulos at the far point. Coming in, that got knocked down. Trying to pull it away as racing in Cardiff. Trying to keep it in. That puck outside the far circle. Brainerd with it there. Brainerd has that tipped away. Zoe Andrianopoulos holds it in. Zoe Andrianopoulos over to Cundiff. Cundiff trying to fire it. That over and just missed by Hebben. Back to Zoe Andrianopoulos at the far point. 8:45 left to go here in the first, 4-0. Pioneer with the lead, looking for their third win of the season. Puck slips back. Pioneer will have to retouch or touch up on delayed offsides. The puck in along the far boards. Brought back in. Here comes Hebben with a shot. And that is a goal. Pioneers scores at 8:26. It's Hebben with the goal. That makes it 5-0 Pioneer. Face off right at center ice. Path forward in to take the face off. Grand on the other side. Hammerman to Grand's right. And Weisinger over to the left. Coming ahead, Hammerman has it in along the near boards and fired back into the far corner. Lots of Pioneer field hockey players on the ice hockey team as well. The field hockey team won the state championship this fall. The ice hockey team would love to do the same. The puck, Hammerman outside the near circle. Hammerman trying to pull that away, loose, battling outside the near circle. As back there trying to get that is Mills. Puck comes to the near point. In there by Grant. There's a shot by Portinga and covered up. Good save there by the Troy netminder. 7:49 left to go here in the first. 5-0 Pioneer with the lead here from the Buffalo Wild Wings arena. And first time we've been in this arena, so that's kind of exciting. There's not a lot of arenas we haven't seen in southeastern Michigan, so it's always good to catch a new one out there. Grand taking the shot. That comes back in the slot. E.V. Portinga trying to get that. That comes outside the far circle. Trying to fire it ahead was Mahoney for Troy. Back to the far point. Now coming over to the near point. That grabbed as Neubauer trying to fire it ahead. That puck back over. Grand feeds it all the way, trying to get it into the far point. E.V. Portinga slips back into the neutral zone, trying to reset as Pioneer has to touch up, and that will be an offsides as they didn't quite get a chance to touch up before it came back into the zone. 7:21 left to go as opposed to a normal offsides. They're going to bring it all the way back into the Pioneer zone, so I wonder if there was a high stick or something. Face off, that's going to be to the left of Wewe Portinga. Trying to win that back and along the far boards. It's Estella Young that comes back to the blue line. Bringing it at Estella Young trying to get to it now in along the near boards. Here comes Pioneer. Joff racing through traffic. Joff running ahead. Joff comes in along the M boards, and that'll be an icing and bring it right back into the Pioneer zone. 7 minutes left to go here in the first. 5-0 Pioneer with the lead. 2 scores by Olivia Andrianopoulos, Zoe Andrianopoulos with a goal, Edwards with a goal, as well as Eben, excuse me. Face off in the near face off circle. That is Flynn, that was Stella Young taking the face off, loose in the slot. Troy trying to get to it, they're bouncing in the slot. Now pulled to blue line, held in by Ford, now bounced in along the far boards. Stella Young bringing it into the zone. Stella Young trying to move it over. That intercept by Troy, the puck along the near boards. Bringing it ahead is Patinga. Patinga had it, that shot into the far, helped along by the Troy netminder. Back in along the far boards, Cundiff trying to get to it. Now Estella Young fires it. That banks off the near boards, trying to hold it in is Adrianopoulos racing over. Joe looking for it. That puck loose going and held in. Good job back there by Alexis Young to hold it in. Now it's fired out into the neutral zone. Sent back, coming ahead with it. And fired into the far corner. Good job by Estella Young to put it deep into the far corner. Comes outside the far circle. Cundiff has it there. Cundiff centering attempt. That gets sticked away. As again, knocking it away was the Troy netminder. Comes back into the neutral zone. Olivia Andrianopoulos trying to avoid pressure by Troy. Moves it over to Joff and along the near boards. Joff stop at the near circle. Joff has it tipped back. Andreanopolis holding it in, firing it back deep. That goes right back behind the Troy goal into the far corner. Gathered up there by Ford. Ford trying to feed it ahead. Pulled over as Estella Young has it in the slot, trying to pull that away. Traffic out in front. That gets deflected in along the near boards. Banked right back into the neutral zone. Olivia Andreanopolis trying to fire it ahead. Then backed up by Mills on the near circle of her own zone. She feeds it back into the neutral zone. Chasing it, bringing it around. Alexis Young gets it over to Jove. Jove feeds it over to Olivia Andreanopolis. Olivia Andreanopolis firing it ahead. Here comes Jove. Jove gets it into the zone. Drop pass back. Shikachi firing it. Centering attempt. Pulled back over by Hebben. Hebben gets it at the far point. Flynn trying to fire it back deep. That puck outside the far circle. Hebben gets it on the far circle, coming in, moves it into the slot. Jove moves it over. And grab back now. Zoe Andreanopolis at the near point, trying to feed it back deep. And puck, Shikachi outside the near circle. Now Zoe Andreanopolis gets it back. That picked up by Eben. Eben gets it back to Shikachi on the near circle. Puck will settle down. She goes back behind the goal, rimming it all the way around into the far corner. Trying to get it back to the far point. Battling back there is tipped around by Carter. The puck getting along the end board. 4:05 left to go here. It's up behind here with the change things up, having some offensive players playing at the and brought back direction all the way by the near grab there, racing ahead. Zoe Andreanopolis moves it, gets it ahead to Hebben. Hebben over to Shikachi. Shikachi onto the near circle, back in the slot to Hebben. Back over to Shikachi on the near circle. 3:39 left to go here in the first. Zoe Andreanopolis at the near point. Moves to the far point, then gets it back. Top of the near circle. Zoe Andreanopolis moves it over to Shikachi. Outside the near circle. And put back to Flynn at the far point. Puck into the slot. Shikachi reaches the zone again. Shikachi at the near point. Flips into the near corner. That pull back behind. Racing over to get it is Edwards. That comes back to the far point to Flynn. Flynn moves it over to the near point. Zoe Andreanopolis, top of the near circle. Zoe Andreanopolis gets it back behind. Now that rimmed all the way outside of the far circle by Edwards. Move back to Zoe Andreanopolis, who gets it to Flynn at the far point. Shot there, gets deflected. As that goes in along the far, boards lifted all the way back. 2:51 left to go here in the first. 5-0 Pioneer with the lead as they have it back behind their own goal. Coming ahead with it, racing over in along the near boards, trying to get through traffic is Eben. Eben along the near boards, that pulled away by Pathford. Pathford banks it off of the far boards. Now that pulled in by Edwards. Edwards outside the far circle, moving it back to the point as Pioneer gets a line change. The puck at the near point. Eben firing it through the slot. That knocked down. Trying to knock it away was Johnson. Loose now, still loose as it comes back to the far point to Neubauer. Neubauer has it there. Neubauer trying to feed it high slot. Grab back by Shehu. Tipped back by Weisinger. Back to the near point. Fired back deep by Evie Portinga. Back behind. Grand has it in along the end boards. Grand banks it off of the near boards. Back to Evie Portinga at the near point. Evie Portinga gets it onto the near circle. Trying to pull that away. Battle for it with the trio of the Troy players as Weisinger trying to get to it. That wraps all the way around to Neubauer. Neubauer outside the far circle. Neubauer trying to poke that away from a pair of Troy players. The puck into the far corner. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go as Weisinger gets it, top of the near circle. Evie Portinga, centering attempt, puts it right into the slot, but that deflected back there by Mills, who puts it back behind her own goal. Into the far corner, Grand gets it set up, now gets it back. Grand going back behind the goal from the near side to the far, from the far side to the near side. Grand chases it into the near corner. Picked up there, trying to move it ahead was Kim. Puck outside the near circle, now over Evie Portinga. Gets it onto the far circle. Is back over there, Hammerman with it. Now Evie Portinga has it high slot, moves it outside the near circle. Centering attempt as Weisinger calling it. And moved and now go back into the neutral zone, racing ahead with it. Now Evie Portinga takes it back behind her own goal. 40 seconds left to go here in the first. 5-0 Pioneer with the lead And puck into the near corner. Trying to bring it ahead as Warburton lost the net. Sent back deep. And trying to pick it up. Back behind the goal. Banks it off the far boards. That comes back to the far point. Pioneer able to hold it in. Evie Portinga comes outside on the far circle. Picked up. Here comes Troy. Troy races through center ice. Troy bringing it ahead as that man with it. Outside the circle. As that back to Luke. Now trying to away the outside circle. 3 seconds left. 2 seconds left. 1 second left. That win for the first at 36. Olivia Adrianopoulos scoring. Then at 56, it was Zoe Adrianopoulos chipping in. At 18, it was Edwards with a goal for Pioneer. 11-19, Edwards got her second of the game. And at 8:26, it was Hebbett who scored her first of today's game. 15 minutes up on the clock. We'll have a brief break here. If it does have an 8-goal differential going into the third, the game will be called then. Obviously, with 15 minutes between now and then, as Troy will have a lot to say about that, and they will try and get this game a little bit closer. See if I can come up with the name. Just can't come up with a name. Goaltender. It doesn't matter anybody I have on rosters. So it's like it's an A instead of an E. So Slayhu is, and hope murdering that, because Slayhu is between the pipes. Although I had a E in that name and there's an A, so the roster I grabbed is not correct, but that happens. Welcome to the early games, especially the first game of this season for Troy. Those rosters are very rarely absolutely perfect, as different jersey issues, different items of that nature. Pioneer going from right to left here in the second. They have the 5-0 lead here versus Troy. Trying to get their third win in a row before they take on Mid-Michigan at 2 o'clock. That will be on Sunday. We will have that game for you, hopefully barring any technical difficulties. As keepers switching off, as like there's only, it looked like did not have a goalie stick, as the goalie is playing for Troy without a goalie stick. So Weiwei Portinga did an excellent job switching off to make sure she has a goalie stick, because that's no fun to have to patrol the crease with a standard stick that a forward or defenseman would have. Trying to fire it ahead. Brainerd, that picked up, coming in along the near boards. Olivia Andrianopoulos gets it. Here comes Alexis Young. Alexis Young gains his own, moves it over onto the far circle, trying to get it over to Cundiff. That puck comes right behind and along the near 14:33 left. Olivia was holding it in at the near point. Puck into the near corner, grabbing it. Alexis Young poked away. That grab by Kim into the corner. Racing over, trying to pull that away was Stella Young. Now there's Olivia Andrianopoulos with a shot from the near point. Save there by Shehu. Puck back behind, Pioneer with it. Trying to get it back. Olivia Andrianopoulos at the near point. Olivia Andrianopoulos banks it off of the near board, sends it back behind. Cundiff chasing it. Puck into the far corner. Cundiff trying to pull it away. Puck right back behind. Now grabbed Alexis Young, trying to feed it into the slot, as Estella Young was waiting there for it. Puck loose in along the near board, still trying to dig it away. Estella Young gets it back to Olivia Andrianopoulos. Shot there, stop. That puck loose. Now there's another shot and a score. Pioneer puts it in, and just trying to see, as that was indeed Estella Young who fired that in, makes it 6-0 here in the second. That at 13:38. So Estella Young puts it in. And Pioneer has the 6-0 lead, 13:38 left to go here in this the second period. The puck in along the near boards, banked off of the near boards, bringing it back, grabbing it. Zoe Andronopoulos down the near boards, trying to feed it, picking it up. Shikachi moves it ahead, bringing it in. Hebben has it at the near circle, fires it over to the far circle. Edwards has it into the far corner, sweeps it right back behind the boards, in outside the near circle, grabbing it there. Pioneer trying to get to the near point. That's sent back into the neutral zone, racing back. Flynn goes back to grab it in her own zone. Flynn has it. Back behind her own goal, stops right to the far side of Weiwei Portinga, then banks it ahead over to Edwards. Edwards trying to sweep it into the neutral zone. That grab now coming ahead with it, racing in. Here comes Hebben. Hebben, breakaway. Hebben gets it over onto the near circle as that's pulled over by Shikachi. Shikachi moves it into the slot. Shot there by Edwards, moving over, and great job by Edwards to move it over onto the near circle where Hebben had it. Hebben with the shot, and a very good save by Shehu. 12:46 left to go here in the second. Face off in the near face-off circle, that to Shehu's right. 6-0 Pioneer with the lead. Grand in to take the face-off. Evie Portinga right back behind her. Weisinger to her left. That grabbed Hammerman trying to get it in along the far boards. Hammerman banks it off the far boards trying to hold it in. That's sent onto the far circle. Grand chases it into the far corner. Pulled, that fired right back into the near corner as Weisinger has it there. Weisinger gets it. Oh, and that slips all the way back into the Pioneer zone. 12:23 left to go here in the second. 6-0 Pioneer with the lead. Pulled back behind. Coming in along the near boards. Banked ahead by Neubauer. Neubauer gets it over to Weisinger. Weisinger through center. So Weisinger coming down the boards. Gets it over to Grand, but an offside's called. 12:07 left to go here in the second. 6-0 Pioneer with the lead here at the Buffalo Wild Wings Arena in Troy, playing Troy United. Face-off in the near face-off circle. And just outside of the Troy zone. Jof in to take the face-off. Alexis Young to her left. Over to the right is Cundiff. That puck slips back. Center ice. Evie Portinga gets it in along the far boards. That brought in by Cundiff. Cundiff outside the far circle, top of the far circle. That gets moved over to Jof. Jof trying to work her way down the blue line. Jof backhands it onto the near circle. Just skips past into the near corner. Alexis Young trying to get to it. That puck, top of the near circle. Jof gets it over to Evie Portinga and trying to move over to Cundiff, top of the far circle. Cundiff back to the far point. Keeping it in. I believe that was Neubauer back there. That puck onto the far circle. Cundiff moves it around. That comes outside the near circle. Alexis Young gets it back to the near point. Evie Portinga trying to feed it through traffic. That grab by Jof. Jof flips it over onto the far circle. Cundiff chases it into the far corner. 11:17 left to go. Back to the far point to Neubauer. Neubauer moves it over to Evie Portinga. Evie Portinga back to Neubauer, top of the far circle. Trying to feed it into the slot. Jof puts it onto the far circle. Cundiff trying to move it back. That puck batted into the far corner, gathering it up there. Troy brings it right back behind us. That's Mills with it. Mills trying to feed it down the ice. That grab by Jof, held in at the blue line, and that will be offsides as it just slipped on the other side of the blue line. Pioneer will get a line change. 10:52 left to go here in the second. 6-0 Pioneer with the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle just outside of the Troy zone. As Hebben in to take the face-off. Shikachi trying to pull that away. The puck in along the near board. Shikachi brings it in, trying to fire it back deep. Loose right in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Hebben gets it back. Olivia Andronopoulos moves it over. Brainerd trying to feed it through. That puck loose, bringing it in. Coming ahead with it, O'Malley. O'Malley with a shot that steered into the near corner by Weiwei Portinga. That puck loose and along the near boards. Here comes Pioneer trying to bring it through the neutral zone. Bringing it ahead. Estella Young trying to feed it back deep. That knocked away by Spandinard. Puts it into the far corner. Trying to race over. Estella Young had it. That top of the far circle. Here comes Troy getting it back into the neutral zone. Olivia Andronopoulos steals it away at her own blue line. She weaves through traffic. Olivia Andronopoulos trying to get it back over to Brainerd. Brainerd comes into the slot, flips it, top of the far circle. That over to Estella Young. Estella Young has it into the far corner. That put right back into the near corner. Hebben has it there. Hebben gets it, top of the near circle, over to Shikachi. Shikachi puts it onto the far circle. As Estella Young gets it into the far corner, trying to get herself around Kashegnik, top of the near circle. As Hebben put back outside the far circle. Estella Young has it there. Estella Young trying to get it over into the far corner for Hebben. Hebben trying to move out in front. That poked away. Good job by O'Malley to knock it away. Pioneer gets it back outside the far circle. Estella Young trying to dig it off of the boards on the far circle, coming away with it. Estella Young tries to rim it around the boards. That went off of a skate of a Troy player. Now put back into the near corner. Shikachi picks it up outside the near circle. Back to Olivia Andrianopoulos at the near point. Olivia Andrianopoulos rims it all the way back, right back behind the goal into the far corner. Shikachi picks it up there. Shikachi now backhands it into the slot as Estella Young with a shot that goes wide. 8:50 left to go here in the second. 6-0 Pioneer with the lead. That fired all the way down the ice. That will be icing and head back into the Troy zone with 8:43 left to go here in the second period. Pioneer heads out as Edwards out there, Hammerman, Grand, Flynn, as well as Zoe Andrianopoulos, the 5 players for Pioneer. As Path Ford comes in to take the face-off for Troy. And puck in along the near boards. Grant puts it into the near corner, trying to pull it away. Grant backhands it back outside the near circle. Flynn has to retreat into the neutral zone. Moves it over to Zoe Andrianopoulos around the far boards. Zoe Andrianopoulos banks it ahead. Hammerman trying to hold it in. That right back out into the neutral zone. Zoe Andrianopoulos trying to fire it deep. That pin now comes back onto the far circle. Grabbing it, Ford has it there. Ford trying to feed it ahead. Zoe Andrianopoulos keeps it in. Here comes Grant. Grant moves it over onto the far circle. Hammerman comes back to get it. Drifts it back to Zoe Andrianopoulos at the far point. Gets it to Grand in the slot. Grand trying to poke it in, and that was a save. Excuse me, that was Edwards trying to get to Grand right on the near post. 8:05 left to go here in the second. 6-0 Pioneer with the lead. Pioneer changes the forward. Zoe Andrianopoulos and Flynn stay monitoring the blue line. Evie Portinga takes the face-off. Mahoney on the other side. Excuse me, that was Pathford. Puck into the near corner. Trying to pull that away is Jof sending it in along the near boards. Flynn has it at the near point. Flynn, high slot. Zoe Andrianopoulos trying to keep it in. That puck, top of the far circle, puts it into the slot. Grabbing it back over there is Ford. The puck in along the near boards. Now fed, high slot. Zoe Andrianopoulos moves down to the far circle. Trying to get it into Weisinger. Weisinger poke checks that over. Now grabbed, coming over Flynn. Moves it onto the far circle. Coming over, that shot just goes wide. Evie Portinga gets it into the near corner. Jof has it there. Jof into the slot, trying to get it to Zoe Andrianopoulos, loose. High slot, Zoe Andrianopoulos onto the near circle. Back to Flynn at the near point. Flynn back over to Zoe Andrianopoulos. That banks off of the far board. Zoe Andrianopoulos keeps it in. Great job to hustle over and keep it in. And puck in along the far boards. Now lifted back out by Troy. 7 minutes left to go here in the second. Puck in along the near boards. Sent, grabbed. Bringing it ahead is Weisinger over center. Weisinger gets it over and along the far boards. As that brought back over by Cundiff into the near corner. Jof has it there. Jof trying to move it over to Flynn at the near point. That slips back into the neutral zone. Flynn in a foot race trying to get there before O'Malley. Flynn has it back behind her own goal, going from the near side to the far side. Flynn bringing it up the ice. Flynn weaving through traffic. Flynn moves it. Flynn gets it over to Jof. Jof on the near circle. Jof. Pioneer doing a good job firing, and good save there. Weisinger with a shot from the slot. Good high five there for Shehu, who has done her best between the pipes. A little bit better now that she has an actually goalie stick. That makes a little bit of a difference. 6:21 left to go here in the second. Pioneer switching out as Evie Portinga and Neubauer playing the blue line. Shikachi in to take the face off. And brought back Shikachi trying to get it. Alexis Young puts it off of the near circle. Now that pulled back by Hebben. Back at the far point, Neubauer gets it back to Hebben outside the far circle. That get to Evie Portinga. Evie Portinga, high slot, moves it back to the far point to Neubauer. Neubauer gets it onto the circle as Shikachi trying to pull that through some sticks. That goes just wide along the far boards. Hebben puts it into the near corner. Alexis Young has it there. Alexis Young outside the near circle. Evie Portinga holding it into the near point. 5:45 left to go. That puck trying to feed it into the slot. That knocked away as Neubauer puts it onto the near circle, going over Shikachi into the near corner. Shikachi right back behind the goal. Shikachi stops there. Pulled away by Troy. Troy feeding it in along the near boards. Picked up, bringing it ahead. Racing ahead with it. I don't have 23, or excuse me, that's O'Malley, 27. That popped back. O'Malley puts it centered up high slot. O'Malley in along the boards, having an issue popping back up. She looks like she's okay. Coming ahead with it. Here comes Alexis Young. Alexis Young moves it over. There's a shot by Eben and a save. That puck comes loose. Grab. Now Troy puts it into the far corner. 5 minutes left to go. Puck in along the far boards. Is trying to pull that away as Eben. Poked ahead. Now loose, top of the near circle. Neubauer gets it over. Alexis Young trying to feed it through the slot. Battling O'Malley there. Now Evie Portinga takes it top of the near circle. Evie Portinga gets it, bouncing puck through the far circle. Banked all the way back to the far point. Neubauer with it there. Neubauer gets it to Evie Portinga, high slot. 4:28 left to go. Evie Portinga rimmed all the way right back behind Shehu. That comes all the way back, top of the far circle. Neubauer with it there. Neubauer trying to get it into the slot. Pulling it over. Hebben chases it into the near corner. Hebben trying to pull that away. Battle for it back behind as Spandenard puts it in along the near boards. Now Hebben coming in. Hebben, that went off of a Troy skate outside the near circle as O'Malley trying to get it out of the zone. Puck loose in the slot, now pulled back into the neutral zone. Pioneer will have to retouch as they come outside. Down the neutral zone, Shikachi moves it back. Pioneer has it in their own zone. Bringing ahead is Hebben. Hebben trying to weave her way through traffic. Hebben moves it over onto the far side, and that will be offsides. 3:37 left to go here in the second. 6-0 Pioneer with the lead. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle. Just outside of the Troy zone. Grandin to take the face-off. Edwards to her left. Hammerman to her right. Edwards has it, pokes it into the zone. Grab there and trying to lift it down was Ford. That goes all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Olivia Andrianopoulos has it back behind her own goal. Olivia Andrianopoulos puts it in along the near boards. Here comes Edwards. Edwards gets it into the zone. That pulled right back in by Ford, back deep into the Pioneer zone. Brainerd picks it up back behind Weiwei Portinga. Brainerd coming in along the far boards. Here comes Grand. Grand down the far boards. Banks it ahead. That grabbed. Racing ahead with it. Hammerman gets it over and along the near boards. Here comes Edwards. Edwards. Top of the near circle. Edwards moves it back to Olivia Andrianopoulos. Olivia Andrianopoulos. Over to Brainerd. Brainerd at the far point. Brainerd swings it all the way back behind. Grand racing over to get it. That puck into the near corner. 2:45 left to go here in the second. Still trying to poke away at it. That puck all the way back. That slips back into the neutral zone. Pioneer trying to regroup. Pafford has it. Pafford fires it back deep into the Pioneer zone. 2:30 left to go here in the second. 6-0 Pioneer with the lead. Bringing it ahead. That moved over. Fired right to the blue line, but Olivia Andrianopoulos knocks it off the near boards. Here comes Edwards. Edwards. Top of the near circle. Edwards coming in. Edwards moves it over onto the far circle. And moved right back behind. Now on to the far circle it goes. Hammerman with the shot. Pioneer trying to get it over to Hammerman to get her a goal. 2 minutes left to go. That fired all the way down the ice. Icing waved off. 1 minute, 53 seconds left in the second. Coming in along the near boards. Here comes Pioneer. Racing ahead with it. Brainerd. Drop pass over to Olivia Andrianopoulos. Olivia Andrianopoulos brings it in. Olivia Andrianopoulos outside the near circle. Olivia Andrianopoulos fires it out in front onto the far circle. Beautiful centering attempt. That held in by Brainerd. And shot goes into the near corner. 1 minute, 25 seconds left to go. Puck outside the near circle as Edwards trying to peel it off of the near boards. Olivia Andrianopoulos puts it onto the far circle. Now that lifted back into the neutral zone. 1 minute, 13 seconds left to go. The puck fired back deep. As that will bank off of the end boards. Racing back to get it is Mahoney. Now Brainerd tips that away. Brainerd puts it in along the far boards, grabbing at Hammerman, trying to get it out of the zone. Hammerman trying to bank it off the far boards again. Battle for it back there. Now that slips back. Saucers into the neutral zone, bringing it ahead. Here comes Pioneer. Brainerd has it on the far circle. Brainerd coming in. Brainerd in the slot, trying to move it over. Shot by Edwards. Save. That comes right back behind. 36 seconds left to go. The puck held in at the far point by Brainerd. Brainerd puts it right back behind the goal into the near corner. 28 seconds left to go here. Racing over to get it. Jof moves it over onto the far circle. Weisinger gets it back. Grabbing it, Flynn making a way. Flynn moving it back into the far corner for Weisinger. Weisinger back behind the goal. Weisinger puts it into the near corner. Jof has it there. 9 seconds left to go here in the second. Jof, that grab. Carter trying to pull it away. The puck back into the neutral zone. Grabbed by Zoe Andrianopoulos. Zoe Andrianopoulos has it, and that will do it for the second. At the end of 2, it's Pioneer 6 and Troy nothing. So it looks like I don't think we're going to get an ice resurfacing. Looks like we're going to go right into the third. Again, if Pioneer scores 2 goals unanswered, that will try and advance period. If Pioneer scores 2 more in this period, it will be a end of the game. If you have an 8-goal differential in the third. So 15 minutes up on the clock. 2 wins already for Pioneer, looking to get their third win. Then they play Mid-Michigan 2 o'clock on Sunday. If you want to see a couple former Pioneer athletes, watch the Michigan women's hockey game tomorrow, live from Aquinas. Tomorrow evening, I believe that is a 7:30 game from the Southside Ice Arena. We will have that game for you. They are undefeated 8-0-1 throughout the season, 4th in the nation. It's been a good season so far for Pioneer men's, Pioneer women's, and Michigan women's hockey. Of course, it's a long season, so lots of things can happen. Keeping our fingers crossed that things continue to go well for the team. Here we go for the third. Right back out into the third. 15 minutes up on the clock. 6-0 Pioneer with the lead. That's Zoe Andrianopoulos winning the faceoff back to the blue line. Flynn trying to get it as that popped away, coming in. There's a shot, and they score. As the captain got it, the puck put back, as that was Pettinga who got that goal in the third. That at 14:49. Troy goal by Pettinga. Now it's 6-1. As it just kind of slipped past on the blue line. Zoe Andrianopoulos again in to take the faceoff. Olivia Andrianopoulos to her right. I believe that's Weisinger on the far side. 6-1 here in the third. Puck in along the far boards. Brought ahead by Hebben. Hebben trying to get outside the far circle. Hebben coming in. Hebben with a shot and a score, and Pioneer answers back in a matter of seconds. That would be 11 seconds later, as Hebben with her second goal of the game. Right back to a 6-goal differential. 4:38. That's a brace for Hebben. 7-1 now. Pioneer with the lead. As figuring out who's going to play where, Pioneer comes out onto the ice. As Evie Portinga on the near wing. That comes back to the blue line. Fed in along the near boards to Evie Portinga. Evie Portinga gets it over to Shikachi. Shikachi coming down on the far circle. Shikachi coming in. Backhands it right through the slot. Evie Portinga on the near circle. Evie Portinga. And fed all the way outside the far circle. Racing over to get it. Shikachi puts it back to the far point. Neubauer chases it back. That puck grabbed in along the near boards. Trying to chip it ahead was Cundiff. Now pulled back. Evie Portinga backhands it in along the far boards. Brought in by Shikachi. Shikachi, top of the far circle, moves it over onto the near circle for Evie Portinga. Evie Portinga right into the slot. Backhanded shot. And comes back into the far corner. Good save there. Back to the far point. Holding it in was Neubauer. Neubauer puts it back to the near point. Evie Portinga trying to get to it. Weaving through traffic. That's sent back into the neutral zone. Cundiff has it there. Cundiff putting it in along the far boards. Here comes Shikachi. Shikachi gains the zone. Shikachi outside the far circle. Shikachi coming in. Puts it into the slot. That just off of its mark just by a little bit. Trying to put it in was Cundiff. That loose onto the near circle. Lift it back. Cundiff holds it in at the near point. Cundiff trying to get it through traffic. That's onto the near circle. 17 left to go. The puck and along the far boards. Neubauer has it outside the far circle, putting it into the slot. Bouncing puck, top of the near circle it goes. Coming over to get it is Cundiff. Cundiff moves it over. Here comes Alexis Young. Alexis Young puts it into the slot. That pulled back to Cundiff high slot. Into the far corner. Alexis Young has it there underneath the far circle, back high slot. Cundiff with it. Trying to pull it through. Now that grab loose at the blue line. Back into the neutral zone. Pulling it back, Evie Portinga has it at her own blue line. Evie Portinga travels back in along the far boards, trying to get around Johnson. Evie Portinga bringing it down the far boards. Evie Portinga gains the zone. Top of the far circle. Trying to fire it over to Shikachi. Shikachi into the near corner. Shikachi puts it back to Cundiff at the near point. Cundiff gets it over to Hebben. Hebben with a shot. That save. Good save by Sehu. That puck loose. Here comes Troy. They come in along the near boards. Trying to fire it ahead is O'Malley. O'Malley brings it into the zone. That poked away, loose in the slot. Pioneer feeds it ahead. That in along the far boards. Racing ahead to get it. Sent ahead by Mills. By Troy. Trying to sweep it deep into the Pioneer zone. Shikachi backhands it. Now that right to the Pioneer blue line. Bringing ahead is Warburton, but offsides the call. 11:47 left to go here in the third. 7-1, Pioneer with the lead. Here from the Buffalo Wild Wings Arena in Troy. This is the rink number 2. Again, first time we've been in this rink. Face-off in the near face-off circle just outside of the Pioneer zone. O'Malley in to take the face-off. Zoe Andrianopoulos on the other side. One back, grabbing it, Brainerd. Brainerd bringing it ahead. Brainerd over on blue line. Brainerd trying to sweep through traffic. Brainerd gets it over Zoe Andrianopoulos. Over to Jof. Jof on the far circle. Jof bringing it in. Jof goes back behind the goal. Jof puts it in along the near boards over to Edwards. Edwards back to Jof, back behind the goal. Jof now sends it back to the far point, held in there by Olivia Andrianopoulos. Olivia Andrianopoulos putting it over to Jof underneath the far circle. Into the slot. Shot there by Zoe Andrianopoulos. Comes back. She's looking for her second goal. Bouncing puck that comes outside the far circle. Olivia Andrianopoulos trying to sweep it into the far corner. Zoe Andrianopoulos holds it in at the far point, trying to put it back deep. That puck loose on the far circle, racing over to get it is O'Malley. Now, bouncing puck into the slot. Zoe Andrianopoulos stops it. That grabbed, moving over. Edwards banks it off of the far boards. Picking it up back behind. Kim has it in the far corner. Now Zoe Andrianopoulos pulls it away. That puck held in by Brainerd at the blue line. Brainerd high slot. And a shot. And a save by Shehu. 10:35 left to go here in the third. 7-1 Pioneer with the lead. A lot of Pioneer players getting some time at different positions today. Getting to play a little bit of the depth players as well. Getting everyone a good opportunity. That comes back. Held in by Flynn. Flynn at the blue line trying to fire it onto the far circle. Loose got caught in a pair of skates. Flynn trying to poke it ahead to Hammerman. That back to the far point. Hebben puts it outside the far circle trying to fire it back deep. That grabbed. Lifted in. Now loose in the slot. Flynn trying to get to it. Banked off the far boards. Hebben holds it in at the far point, trying to feed it into the slot. That goes just wide to the near side as Grand was right there, looking for a rebound. That poke, Grand on the near circle. Grand gets it back to Flynn at the blue line. Flynn at the near point. Banks it off the far boards, trying to get it over to Estella Young. Estella Young back outside the far circle over to Hebben. Flynn. And banked off of the far boards. Hebben trying to poke it ahead. Loose, top of the far circle. Now swept into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to touch up. That will be offsides. 9:36 left to go here in the third. 7-1 Pioneer with the lead. Back in action, 2 o'clock on Sunday is this Pioneer team taking on the Mid-Michigan Alliance. And puck loose, coming ahead with it. Now Hebben has it in along the far boards of the neutral zone over to Flynn. Flynn back to Hebben. Hebben ahead. That grab now put in along the near boards. Hammerman firing it, banked off of the far boards. Hebben puts it back deep. Grabbing it back there. The puck into the slot, racing over. Hebben trying to hold it in. Now coming the other direction. Here comes Padinga. Padinga puts it back deep into the near corner. Pioneer has it back behind as that's Flynn who puts it in along the far boards. Not able to get it out. Flynn takes it underneath the far circle, goes back behind Weiwei Portinga. Flynn banks it off the near boards, trying to get it over to Hammerman. Hammerman brings it ahead into the neutral zone. And it's shoved ahead, racing over to get it is Ford. Now Grand moves it over. Grab back into the neutral zone, deflected. Hebben trying to pull that away as Mahoney in along the far boards. Top of the far circle, fired right back into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to touch up. The puck in along the near boards, poked away, now back. Hammerman bringing it in. Hammerman gets it over, racing ahead with it. Here comes Grand. Grand on the near circle, getting it into the slot. There's a shot and a score! As a great job putting it in by Estella Young. That's her second goal of the game. That makes it 8-1 Pioneer at 8:14. One more unanswered goal, and Pioneer will have the win. Weisinger in to take the face-off. Evie Portinga on the near side. Shikachi on the far wing. Comes back in along the near boards. Fading ahead is Cundiff. That comes back. Cundiff firing it. That grabbed in along the boards. Here comes Shikachi down the far boards through the neutral zone. Shikachi gains his own on the far circle. Shikachi coming back behind the goal. Shikachi underneath the near circle trying to backhand it into the slot. That banked off of the near board. Shikachi chasing. Cundiff has it at the near point. Bouncing puck on the far circle comes back. Held in. Great job by Cundiff. Banking it off the far boards, and that goes into the far corner. Chasing over Shikachi, trying to pull it off of the far corner, goes right back behind the goal. Shikachi has it underneath the near circle. Shikachi into the near corner. All the way back to Cundiff at the near point. 7 minutes, 32 seconds left to go. That intercepted. Shikachi able to knock it away. That puck onto the near circle. Evie Portinga with it. Evie Portinga trying to sweep it. That gets knocked right back behind the goal. Right out in front. Evie Portinga. Good save back there by Shehu. Back into the neutral zone. Neubauer puts it in along the far boards. And brought ahead. Pioneer bringing it in. Shikachi trying to get past traffic on the far circle. Shikachi goes right back behind the goal. And a collision between two Pioneer players as they are slow to get up as they went right back behind the goal. Neubauer trying to fire it out in front. They both look like they're okay. They're both back up. We're good to see that. As that puck goes back into the neutral zone, grabbed by Neubauer. Neubauer at her own blue line. Neubauer. That puck got knocked down, coming ahead with it, grabbing and bringing it in. Here comes O'Malley. Knocked away. Cundiff hands it in along the far boards. Cundiff feeds it ahead. Now Shikachi trying to get through traffic. Shikachi back behind the defense. Shikachi on the far circle. Backhands it. Ooh, just misses. Evie Portinga puts it right back behind and along the far boards. Weisinger has it there. Weisinger. Centering attempt. That got knocked down. Pioneer in the middle of the line change. Troy gets it out. Pioneer touches up. Grabbed by Brainerd. Brainerd sends it in along the far boards. Here comes Olivia Andrianopoulos. She backhands it back in deep. Avoiding a collision there. Puck into the far corner. 6 minutes left to go here in the third. 8-1 Pioneer with the lead. Puck into the near corner. Zoe Andrianopoulos gets it over. Edwards, that loose out in front. And a save by Shehu. 8-1 Pioneer with the lead. 5:53 left to go here in the third. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That to Shehu's left. Really appreciate you joining and watching wherever you are at, no matter which team you choose to root for. Thank you for supporting these amazing athletes and all of their hard work. We appreciate it. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Alexis Young, shot on goal, loose. That comes back as Zoe Andrianopoulos with the shot got caught in a pair of skates. Alexis Young, now Zoe Andrianopoulos on the near circle. Zoe Andrianopoulos gets it back to Brainerd at the near point. Brainerd there. Brainerd with a wrister back to Zoe Andrianopoulos. Fires it. That goes wide into the near corner. Picked up there by Mills. Mills trying to bring it in along the near boards. Held in by Brainerd. Brainerd puts it into the far corner. Pulled back over. Zoe Andrianopoulos underneath the far circle, putting it into the slot. Trying to fire it. That one saved by Shehu. Puck in along the M boards. Now brought back. Spinning with it. Outside the far circle with it. Here comes Evie Portinga. Evie Portinga getting it, trying to get it over to Edwards. Poking away, and that is going to be a save. Face-off in the near face-off circle. It's a good job by Alexis Young right out in front. 5 minutes, 2 seconds left to go. 8-1 Pioneer with the lead. Troy trying to chip in another goal to extend this game. Pioneer getting some good work in for the entire roster. Maddie Grand in to take the face-off. Hammerman to her left. Pulled back over to Hammerman. Hammerman grabs it. Hammerman trying to feed it out in front. Maddie Grand gets it back to Hammerman. Now that on the far circle. Trying to put it back. That was Joe. Now bringing ahead. Here comes Troy. Racing ahead with it is Maloney. Maloney gains his own. Maloney puts it over onto the far circle. Knocked away. Great job there moving it over. Here comes Grand. Loose puck. And pulled back as Flynn trying to get it in along the near boards. That lifted ahead. Saucering puck settles down. Here comes Maddie Grand on the near circle. That poked back. Good job by Troy to knock it away. Flynn has it at the near point. Flynn cycling over. Hammerman puts it into the slot. Loose. And that will be covered up by Shehu. 4:15 left to go here in the third. 8-1 Pioneer with the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Grand in to take the face-off. Hammerman to her left. Chofe to her right. Flynn playing the near point. Hebben playing the far point. That puck into the slot. Poked away. Good job by Troy to bring it back behind. Path forward. Puts it in along the far boards. Pioneer into the far corner. Brought back at the far point by Hebben. Hebben backhands it onto the far circle coming ahead. That moved over. to Flynn. Flynn puts it outside the near circle. Centering attempt, bouncing puck. Grabbed. Hebben, that over. Hammerman trying to get the goal as Pioneer trying to set Hammerman up. Now Hebben gets it over. That grab by Flynn. Flynn, puck wouldn't settle down for her. Flynn moves it outside the near circle. Jof chases it into the near corner. Jof trying to pull it away. Jof trying to dig it out of the boards. Flynn has it at the near point. Flynn, top of the far circle, over to Hebben. Hebben puts it into the far corner. Lifted through the slot. Good tip out there by Grand. Just couldn't redirect it in as that puck comes outside the far circle. Hebben with it there. Now racing, holding it in. Flynn. Flynn backhands it off of the far boards. Pulling it back into the far corner is Ford. Ford trying to get it out of the zone. Grabbed by Grand. Grand moves it over. Now trying to get it back. And out in front by Jof and covered up by Shehu. 3 minutes, 1 seconds left to go here in the third. Pioneer with the 3-1 lead. Battling Troy. Pioneer looking for their third win of the season. Troy with their first game of the season. They get the net put back on its moorings. And was that a goal? That was a goal. So that would be the goal that makes it 9-1. As Pioneer very workmanlike, businesslike about that goal, and I missed who got it, but we'll check the score sheet later. Your announcer missing that one. What can you do? So Pioneer wins the game. They will be back in action at Bay City 2 o'clock on Sunday. As for some reason the scoreboard never advanced the period, but that's okay. So Pioneer wins the game 9-1. We will be back in action tomorrow with Michigan women's hockey at Aquinas. Then the same Pioneer women's hockey team at Bay City on Sunday. Only for Pioneer men's hockey to return on Monday at the Anna Bryce Cube. For my cameraman, James Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Pioneer final score 8-1. Have a great night and take care.